Welcome to the Life Begins at Midlife podcast, where we pop the champagne to celebrate the unexplored joys and endless adventures that await us in the midlife. Flipping the script on what it means to hit those fabulous 40s, 50s and beyond. Because here, we don't believe in midlife crises, only midlife revolutions. Reminding you that the only thing we're letting go of at midlife is the notion that it's all downhill from here. Nope, we're here to climb higher, dream bigger, and laugh louder. Each week, we'll dive into the myths, share the truths, and unlock the secrets to making the midlife years your best years yet. From rediscovering lost passions to embarking on new adventures, we're covering it all. Expect candid conversations with inspiring guests who've turned their midlife years into their most dynamic chapter yet. We're talking to everyone from entrepreneurs who've launched successful startups from their kitchen tables to adventurers who decided age is just a number when it comes to climbing mountains or sailing the seas. So if you've ever found yourself pondering, is this all there is? Or you're just eager to embrace the richness of midlife with both arms wide open, then you, my friend, are in the right place. Grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's show the world that life doesn't just begin at 20, it begins again at midlife. And remember, in the Life Begins at Midlife podcast, the only rule is to live confidently, love unconditionally, and laugh uncontrollably. Let's get started. So hello and welcome to today's episode of Life Begins at Midlife. Today we have got Steph from SJ Home Alignments in the studio, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about Feng Shui and her journey and of how she found Feng Shui. So Steph, welcome into the studio. It's lovely to have you with us today.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for welcoming me here.
Perfect. So Steph, tell us a little bit about, what brought you to Feng Shui, because it's not something that generally we think about when we're at school. Oh, one day I'm going to be a Feng Shui specialist. Well, maybe it is nowadays, but I don't think when we were at school that was something that we would have highlighted.
No, it was, I would like to say, a serendipity moment. It was one of them chance moments. I always have had an interest in Feng Shui. I never really knew what it was about. My mum had bought me a couple of books, and I had done what I say is the traditional way, or the Google way, or the book way. And I was like, oh, my mirror's in the wrong place. Oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, the book says to do this. And then the odd time when I think it was in late in high school, early college, I started swapping bedrooms with my brother and go, this doesn't feel right. I quite fancy his mates. If I hang out of his window, I can see them better. That must be good Feng Shui, and that might just attract them to me. And the different ways of life. And then I sort of went into his bedroom, went, nope, don't like this bedroom. I'm going back to the big bedroom. And I just kept moving little things around like that. I always moved things around the bedroom, or said to my mum, if she was feeling iffy or things were off, I was like, let's just do a big deep clean. Let's move the sofa and change things around. Similar to what you do at Christmas, isn't it? When you move furniture to put your Christmas tree out and things. And then that was sort of it. Life took me a completely different direction. Left school at 16, went into another career that I absolutely loved, had a passion for all my life. And then it wasn't until about, I'm trying to think, it might be about 12, 10, I'm trying to think now. My youngest is 12, so it must have been about 11 years ago. I fell back into Feng Shui through a bad divorce. I fell into networking. I didn't know where I was going. I was doing Avon. I was doing all these little things to make money. And this lady who was running the networking had a guest speaker in, and she was talking about Feng Shui and decluttering. I went, oh, I know that. I know what I'm doing. So I started decluttering. I started changing my life. Like I said, I went through a really bad divorce and everything linked to that, with children and court issues. And I just got to that point in my life going, I'm 20. I don't even think I was in my late 20s. Do you know what I mean? I was in my 20s going, is this what I want in life? Is this what I didn't envision this? I thought I was going to be married, happy children, happy life. Everything was on the cards. Everything was there as you picture it and as you vision it. And then all of a sudden, I was left single mum, 2 children. It was actually on my son's first birthday. He told me in the morning that he didn't love me anymore, and that was it. And I was just like, oh my God, we've got a party. We've got everybody coming. How do I put that face on? And it wasn't until another year later after that, when I was starting to delve into the free training I was getting elsewhere. I joined this ladies group and doing all the freebies and going changing this and changing that. And I went, okay, things are changing. Things are, yes, they're changing in me, but it wasn't, the changes in me weren't a positive change, but outside of me, there was positive changes I could see. I then went through really bad depression, anxiety. Again, it was all triggered by the divorce and the course. And I went, no, this is it. If this is the life I'm going to live, anxious every day. Literally, I was forced back into full-time work in nurseries. I was taking my son and daughter to school while paying the nursery full-time for them to look after them, but yet they paid me to look after them. And I thought, this is a bit of a vicious cycle here. I couldn't understand and grasp it. And it was about 2016, I really invested in my coach. And I went, right, forget it, let's do it. I'm done now. I'm sick of this. I don't want to live this way. There was, even though we'd gone through the court and everything, there was aggression from my ex. There was lots of issues. I was in an area I had no family support. I'd moved, from Northumberland down to the West Midlands. And I just went, I've got nothing else to lose. Let's just try it. And literally 2016, took me a while to put in my remedies. I was a bit dubious, thinking, what on earth? I don't know. Let's just, is it magic? Is it woo? Is it, my brother started calling me a witch because I started doing things and things started changing. He's like, you're a witch, Steph. I was like, yeah, and I've got red hair. I fit it, don't I? Fit quite well into that. And that was the pivot point when my life started to change. It was 2016. I literally met my now husband. I had a vision board that I've doing bits with client work and it's coaching off her. And I started seeing everything fall into place. He got me the engagement ring that I didn't even know where it was online. I just found this gorgeous picture of a ring and I thought, oh, yeah, that'll go on the vision board. My vision board wasn't even visible to other people. And everything just started falling into place. All these other dreams that I had, going, I want to be a successful business owner. That was happening. I'd won awards in the business I'd just set up, left the nurseries and whatever. And I just thought, there's something in this. This isn't, is it witchcraft? Is it woo? Is it whatever? I don't know. But I just fell into it then. And then it was in 2019-20 when we're going through the lockdown. We just got married in 2019. And I said to my husband, oh yeah, do you know what would be really funny is if I could be a Geordie version of my mentor and I get trained this year. And he was like, yeah, whatever, Steph, really, like, stop, get back into reality. We're in lockdown. We've got 4 kids at home. They're not at school. Are you mad? I've lost, he lost his work he was in. I lost my business I was running. He's like, we can't do this. I went, yeah, I'll be fine. And I laughed with him one night going, do you know that life savings we've got? Do you know what we've worked hard on the last few years to build up? I said, I've got a feeling it's going to be around about that figure for my training. Put that aside, just put it out there, put it to the universe, left it aside, and all of a sudden, my coach, she was like, no, I'm not training anybody. I'm not interested in it. I'm quite happy coaching everybody as it is. I don't want to train anybody. And then all of a sudden, she messaged myself and a few others that were started in 2016 with her and go, all right, I've had an epiphany. Do you want to be trained? And we were like, yeah, that's fine. And she went, you don't even know the price. And then literally, lo and behold, Jackie, no word of a lie, when we did the application form, and then she said, you've been successful, here's the price. And I went, oh, right, that's bang on the number I said. So that's when I started to really realize the manifestation and putting it out there can't work. And I went, wonder if I could just reduce the price quickly and try and manifest cheaper. But that was it. 2020, that's when I started working with her to train in the principles that I was doing in practice in my own life. And it's basically been that for the last 2-3 years sort of thing, just getting out there and giving them tips and sharing them tips to other people, because I was sharing them anyways. I was doing my own journey and my own friends were coming to me, oh, I'm struggling with this, oh, do this tip or do that tip, and they were like, oh, that works. I went, yeah, I know. They're like, how does it work? I don't know, it just works, but trust me, do it, keep on doing it, and we'll see where it goes. And it wasn't until I took that next step with my mentor that she went, this is why it works, this is how it works, and this is the precise things that we're saying to do. And that's literally been the journey and a right pivot point from where I was back in my teens to now in my late 30s going, oh, if I just done this then, maybe it would be different. But it's like I speak to people now about Feng Shui and they go, oh yeah, that's that 80s thing, isn't it? You must have been an 80s kid. I was like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't born. I was only just born in 87 sort of thing. So I was like, But there was just something in me that knew that this modality had some sort of magical powers over it. And ever since then, I've not looked back in the amount of people I'm helping, even if it is just the free tips that I'm giving them. Oh, well, this has done this. I'm like, yeah, you're a no. Thank me later.
Yeah, I remember people calling it Feng Shui, Feng Shui or something at one point, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you, what are you on about?
Yeah, it's got many interpretations and many different names, and everybody says, oh, it's Feng Shui. I was like, yeah, it's spelled Feng Shui, but it's pronounced Feng Shui. But it's one of them different things. Everybody's got different interpretations. My brother still now goes, oh, well, if I want to lose weight, I just move the fridge out the house, don't I? And I'm like, no, that's not Feng Shui. That's not, do you mean my way of doing it is much deeper level. We keep the house structured as it is. We keep the things in the house because this is how we have to live. We've got to have fridge for food. We've got to have things. And I work on a totally different level to many other consultants and practitioners. But it is what I feel is the most powerful because it's very, really personal to the home and the homeowners, occupants, their individual energy as well, and what we can actually do in the house, as opposed to how ideally Feng Shui was originally used to build, and it was built on the Feng Shui principles, hence why it was so popular because everybody was succeeding. Now we can't build on them principles because not everybody has land to build that way. So we work directly with what we've got, what your home looks like, what everybody's doing inside of it, and that personal energy.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, you might be like the woman might be the one that is, keen to make all these changes and she can see the benefits of it, but then she's got to rally the troops and get them all on board.
Yeah.
And if they say, oh, no, this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, I'm not interested, then, that's then a difficult situation,
Yeah.
How do you handle things like that?
Handle things like that is, I just said, that was me. When my husband first moved into here, and I had said to him in February, can you help me move all these metal out? I need to get them under the moon. And he went, you what? Like, he straight away was like, right, what on earth have I just married? I didn't realize this woman was this cuckoo. She's putting metal under the moon. She's put, like, he was starting to really debate. And I just turned around and said, if it wasn't for what I'd done when I'd done it, he wouldn't be in my life. There was no cross paths in life. There was no, does that make sense? He just sort of came out of nowhere. And I always say, have that trust in something and have that power. But there is always ways we can do it. Even I'm still in my mentors group, and the amount of females in that group go, yeah, I've just put all my remedies and my husband hasn't noticed anything. I'm like, you sneaky, well done, you sort of things. There is ways we can do it without other people knowing. Somebody has to truly believe in it. But if you come to that situation where nobody else will be on board with you, they will be very visual and go, hang on a minute, why have I got a lump of metal there? Why is there a water fountain there? Why have you changed this? Then that's when I always say, use the map, use the Bagua map, and get them principles into your home and see where the areas are in your life and see what's happening in your life that impacts them. And nobody knows that's happening. You can work on a personal level and you can input things into it. Nobody has to know about it. So it gives you that power within yourself to go, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I trust and believe in, but nobody else has to know about it.
Yeah, because often you get them, making fun of all these things, and then that, can often derail you as well, and you start doubting things, and it makes things a bit unpleasant. Or they start railroading it and moving things around, and just to prove things, and you just think, oh, just leave it alone,
Yeah.
fiddle with what's not needing to be fiddled with.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing when it comes to putting the remedies in. Like, if you were to work with me on the one-to-one level, it is very personal. I can't come into your home and put your remedies in because that's going to instill in my energy. Yes, I'll be there to support you, but my energy might be a different energy level, like a radio station. Do you know what I mean? You're only picking up, it's going to pick up my energy. Whereas if you're putting it in, you're setting your intentions into the items and your energy into that to fully balance it. And if somebody does have that negative energy come around, then it is going to knock it off. But that's when we go back to, like you say, even life happens. I'm not going to say nothing negative is going to happen. We've had these experiences, and it's just every so often just go, right, okay, fresh new start house. This is where we're going. This is what we're after. Let's let go of what's just happened and let's move forward and sort of thing. And it's nice that you can get that good balance between actually what people want and what people don't want to come to a compromise somewhere. And like I say, even if it is just instilling the Bagwell map into the home or into one room and go, right, I'm going to do this to boost the money, that's smaller things, and that's your energetic power. So it keeps you on that alignment for yourself and that true power into you that you want to stretch out for something else.
Yeah, and then it's also easier then to, start talking to people about it and say, right, on this day I did such and such, but you didn't know about it. And look, this is what's happened in our lives since then. So how about we give it a try? And then they might be more open to do that, whereas...
Yeah, it's like there's a remedy in my home that's a salt cure. You will find it on very witchy things. It's putting salt in water and into the home to draw in the negativity. My husband is very, very scientific. And this one year he went, oh, for goodness sake, Steph. I went, whoa, zip it now. You're not happy? There's the door. This is my home, my life. I'm happy with it. And he was starting to question, like, hang on a minute, these 2 bits of water, they're going to react in the negative energy. I went, yeah. And he's like, yeah, but that's just science. Because water evaporates, leaves the salt granules behind. And he was trying to give me all this spiel. I went, okay, that's your opinion. And I totally believe that. And I see where you're coming from. But I put them into 2 different areas in my home, and there was no difference in the room. So it was the same room. It was just basically an invisible line that's the energetic differences in the areas. And 6 months later, I said to him, can you come in, have a look at these 2 salt cures? Yeah, whatever. And then he went, holy, what the? I went, right, you tell me now, this is the same room, but just different energetic paths. And you tell me now how both pots, even he watched me make them exactly the same, Jackie, exactly the same water, exactly the same salts. And I went, you tell me that there's no negative energy in one of these areas without seeing this as a result. You went, yeah, okay, now I believe it. And it was amazing that, because he needed that physical sight thing to see, because he believes that, oh, well, yeah, if we're going to manifest rainbow money, it's just, yeah, man's just going to drop a load of gold at the front door, isn't he, Steph? That's what I'm manifesting. I'm like, no, it doesn't happen that way, mate. Do you know what I mean? We can all believe the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but it's not there. We have to do everything else to do it. And he couldn't grasp the energy change that we're doing until he saw these 2 salt cures. And he's very scientific minded. He went, yeah, I can't explain that. Why is that? And I went, there you go. There's the womb. There's your proof.
Explain things, and you just have to go by trusting and knowing that you've seen things change before. How it's actually happened, you don't know, but you know that something's happened to cause that change.
Exactly, that's it. And it's staying in that belief and going into that positive mindset of, I'm seeing it happen, the positive things are coming, you raise that vibration, the house raises the vibration, you're all getting there, and everything else just triggers in. And yes, you will have blips. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody in the world can stay on that positive mindset the whole time without something pulling them down. But it's just remembering in the other days when you have them negative pulls, step back up into that positive, go, right, okay, how can we make the change? How can we move forward from this? And how is the home supporting us?
Absolutely. And I think, people will also start feeling that difference in the home, because people, even though they might be, not acknowledging that Feng Shui would work, but when they start feeling the changes themselves, they'll think, oh, this house all of a sudden feels nice to be in, whereas up until now, everyone can't wait to get out of it, or certain...
That's the thing, it's noticing that. As I say to a lot of people when I talk about Feng Shui, I go, next is Boxing Day sale. What energy do you feel when you go into that shop, or New Looks, or the shops that have the massive sales on that people are waiting outside, or is it the Black Friday deals where that energy is a different energy, and that's what you're feeling. If you walk into them shops and oh, it's a bit cluttered, it's a bit, oh, I don't know, that's energy. And if you're feeling that there, what are you feeling in your own home? And are you masking it, are you hiding it? And I've got a couple of clients now, they once done the full-on package with me, and her friend's daughter is always around at their house. She went, this house just feels amazing. She can't explain what it is. She went, I just love being here. It feels calm, and I don't want to leave it. And I was like, that's energy. And kids are more susceptible to it. They feel it more than we do. But I said that goes to show that was her proof to her that the years that we've been working together, it is actually working, because she doesn't always feel it herself, or sort of thing. Or there was another friend of mine, her kids hated being at home. They used to always want to be out after school every night. I don't want to go home. I just don't know, Mum. I just don't want to go home. And I helped support it, and we did some decluttering, and the kids are like, I want to stay at home now. I don't want to go out. No, we're not going here. And do you know what I mean? And that was giving them the massive opposite, not wanting to be in the house for whatever reason, to just doing a bit of energy clearing and that the decluttering side, not even going into the feng shui side. And the kids were like, I want to be at home now. I want to stay here. I don't want to go out. And I was like, that's that feeling that comes back to you.
Absolutely. It's like, like you touched on, you go into certain shops and you feel, oh, this is nice. And you're quite happy to have a mooch around, and other shops, you just can't wait to get out of there. You can almost feel that you're starting to feel twitchy, and the hair on the back of your neck starting to stand up, and you're like, oh, and you can't even put a finger on it sometimes. And it might not be the shop. It might just be people that are walking around in that shop at that given time.
Yeah. Exactly, that's it. It's somebody's personal energy, the building's energy, the workers in the shop. Do you know what I mean? Nobody can explain it, but they're the sort of energies that you're like, well, if you're feeling that there, and you feel it at your home, something's got to change. You've got to make a look at it differently.
Because you need your home to be your sanctuary, where you do feel that you can, escape from the whole wide world, and you can go into your little sanctuary and feel comfortable and be able to relax.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? And if we don't have that in our homes, then we're not going to have it anywhere, are we? Or like, say you then seek it elsewhere, and then do you mean you're out and about a lot more? And then when you come home, you feel that bigger difference. So, oh, well, Costa Coffee felt cozier than home, so I'll just go to Costa all day. And do you mean, yeah, and you spend more, and kind of that.
But you've got to come home sometime or other. That's the thing, and that's normally when you're coming home to sleep. When you're meant to be able to really relax and rejuvenate. And if you're not able to relax and rejuvenate properly, it's just got a negative spinning anyway into the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You can only escape a certain amount of time, or otherwise you need to move.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I've had clients come to me, and they're like, oh, well, I've looked online, and they say this, and they say that. Oh, no, forget it. Forget what you've just read online. No. Let's look at you. This is how you've got to live. I'm not an architect. I'm not going to tell you knock down walls. I'm not going to tell you this. Where I work with what we've got to work with and how we can enhance that, rather than, like you say, going elsewhere and go, oh, let's move. And yes, there will be, if there was somebody looking for a home or whatever, and it was next to some of the really big no-nos, I might sway them away and go, well, actually, have you thought about over here? Or there is then bigger points. But if it is a point that we can't physically move the home, then we work with it, and we can balance that and protect the home as well, and do extra remedies just to give it that protection and support.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like you say, can't just up sticks and move somewhere else. It's a bit of a logistical nightmare. Because I've looked online previously to knowing you, and you look at some of these remedies and you just think, it's not really very practical, to be fair.
Or some of them, you must have your doors a certain colour. Or I think before I really got into it and did my training, I was online and looking, do you mean, before I even really got dug into it, I was like, oh, well, my house is facing this way, so this Feng Shui consultant tells me I need to tilt my door, not only on a side profile, on an up and down profile. I was like, how is that even going to work?
Yeah, you just start thinking about these things. It's all good and well, maybe if you're building, like you say, from scratch, and you can design everything that way. Yeah. If you've got to go and spend all that money to remodel your house and hope that it works, if there's simpler ways of getting things to work, then I'd rather go that way.
Yeah, but imagine turning up to a house and having a door, like the door wouldn't even, it would open normally front ways, but it would be like in a 45-degree angle backwards or something, a bit like the windows that tilt in as well as open. I was just like, I am not doing that. That's going to make people really think I'm cuckoo then, and I'm really away with the witches at that point.
A wonky house.
Exactly, that's the thing. I'm looking at it going, really? I'm a straight, but 4 houses that look identical to mine, and now I've decided to make mine look wonky. Don't think that's quite it.
We'll definitely get a lot of buy-in from a lot of people, though.
Oh yeah, definitely get you noticed.
Oh gosh. So yeah, it's been lovely speaking with you, Steph. I mean, we could speak for hours on all sorts of different topics, but it's been interesting. I've learned quite a few things today from you, and we've spoken a few times before about Feng Shui as well. So It's been lovely having you. And I'll put all the links that people can get hold of you into the show notes. And lovely
Yeah, like I
chatting.
say, if anybody's interested in Feng Shui, don't Google it. Just come to a professional, and they can put you on the right path rather than getting the mind boggles of what it is
Absolutely.
that we're
Because I
talking
must
about.
say, at some points I've looked into it thinking, oh, this is the way, this is what's really going to help. And I look at the lot and think, nah. And then I'll close the book, I'll close the Google site, and I'll leave it. And that's, I'll try to set one thing and I'm like, nah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely speak to the people that know what they're doing, and
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
don't make you put into in a door that's at a 45-degree angle. I think that's the main point. Anyway,
Exactly.
thanks, Steph. Lovely speaking with you.
Thank you very much, Jackie.
As we wrap up another episode here at Life Begins at Midlife, we want to take a moment to extend a heartfelt thank you to our sponsor, Jackie Bourne, for Purpose Unleashed. Jackie's commitment to empowering individuals on their journey of self-discovery and transformation truly aligns with the spirit of our show. Whether you're navigating the challenges of midlife, seeking clarity on your next steps, or simply looking to live a more fulfilled life, Purpose Unleashed offers the guidance, tools, and support you need to turn your aspirations into reality. For those of you feeling stuck or at a crossroads, remember, it's never too late to redefine your path and embrace the life you've always dreamed of. Visit Purpose Unleashed website to discover how you can start your transformative journey today. Let Jackie be your guide to a more vibrant, purpose-driven life. You can find this link to the website in the show notes below. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in and sharing your time with us. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to grow, to love, and to make a difference. Until next time, keep striving, keep dreaming, and keep listening.